She was
Yeah,
like,
I'm not seeing the random guys.
Write on paper? No, I use it all the time, and then I skip 2 times, I go off the wagon.
Did you just wake up?
No, I am perfectly awake.
Hi, Julie. Julie, I need to see you.
Oh, hey Trudy. Nice to see you.
You too.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. I know there's someone in the bathroom.
Oh,
Two.
someone see.
Okay.
Kirill, where's Kirill?
Krill is not staying.
You don't come.
Today we're going to be doing it's a big deep dive. And it's a big deep dive into yourself. We can do this in 2 different ways. And I want to get your guys' thought on this. So when it comes to reprogramming the mind, it's a lot of deep dive within the self of past beliefs and current modalities that you've been kind of treating yourself with. So we basically have this in 6 rounds, okay? And I was just thinking about this right before putting this whole workshop together. And I was like, okay, so how can we talk about reprogramming the mind? I mean, you probably have read a good amount of books about this type of stuff.
I think you are overestimating me.
Okay. Maybe you've at least heard of it. I mean, when we can talk about this stuff, it gets very deep. You know, Joe Dispenza, he goes into the whole science about it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make it really applicable. And what I thought of was these 6 rounds. And these 6 rounds were get clear on the old, what is happening now, what do you want, why do you want it, and then an action step to make it happen, and then compounding to actually condition yourself. Because when we're talking about programming, we need to not just program one time. This is like, if you ever heard of what a piano does, you know, someone comes in, they tune the piano all the time. You got to tune the guitar strings all the time. This is the same thing that we have to do to our minds, because it's conditioning it to be in that same key, the same state that we want all the time. So, are you guys ready? We're going to be doing a lot of writing down things, and we're going to be doing a lot of thinking. We can divide this into today and tomorrow and do more time to split up, or sorry, not today and tomorrow, but next week. So we can do the first 3 rounds, which would be what is, so getting clear on the old, know what is not working now, and then getting crystal clear on what you want. And then there's the round 3A, which is actually making sure that you're staying in state, the peak state of empowerment, okay? So what would you rather do? Do all of it today or in 2 parts?
Today?
I think let's not get too ambitious here.
Some people maybe, can we have a vote? Maybe vote it?
Yeah, let's say a vote.
Let's do democracy.
Yeah, let's divide this one
Well, I'd rather do it today myself.
That's a good
I'm not here next week, so from a selfish point of view.
So just raise your hand for today. Okay, I think that's today then. Yeah, we'll do it all today. I had that planned. So we're gonna just dive right into it, okay? So round 1, getting clear on the old. So the first thing when we have to talk about is getting clear on the old. What do I mean by that? The old version of you. How did you get here today? Okay? What is your life's experience led up to? So the biggest thing that has to do with that is your beliefs. So I want you to write down 2 core beliefs, okay, that has not been serving you. Okay, so these core beliefs are rules for yourself. They could be global beliefs as well, where it's like life is like this, life is like that, life is are, or life am, those types of things. And rules are like, if so, then X. So you're looking at core beliefs right now. What core beliefs have been running your life in such a past experience that has kept you and kind of your whole identity of who you are today.
This is number 1,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting clear on the old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So it's just 3, or we'll do 2 core beliefs that has been running your life that has not been serving you.
The current beliefs.
Yeah, because that's, yeah. Yep.
And is it about like life is like that, or
Mm-hmm. Could be life is like that.
I'm like this, or
Yep.
like,
Mm-hmm. Could be like I'm like this or life is like that. Yeah. Any beliefs that has not been serving you, that you believe. Could be I believe that I'm not smart enough, right? Could be that one of mine was I'm too young. Like that's been a core belief that really has impacted me in a lot of ways. Or one of the like global beliefs is everyone is on the hunt for money, right? Like these global beliefs that don't really serve me. It's like a generalization and then also a introspection saying like, oh, I'm not like this, or this is such about me. Okay, so I'm gonna give you just a few minutes to do this.
Can I change if something pops up to my mind?
Yeah. Just two core beliefs, okay? And so what happens with these core beliefs is, hi Shauna, you have these, what happens is your conscious mind is the one that's running your entire life. And then everything that you're feeling in the conscious state of who you are, it is feeding into your subconscious. The subconscious is only aware of your feelings. And everything that is feeling current is going to be integrated with the subconscious and make that a self-fulfilling prophecy to make sure that you execute on those beliefs that your subconscious has been given from your conscious mind. Okay? This is why these beliefs have created feelings within you. So, 2 beliefs. Now, the next part we're going to do, I feel like if you don't have it already, I think that looks like some of you already done. The second part is neuro associations. So this has to do with a little bit like beliefs, but these are sort of what you associate pain or pleasure to. So for example, a really positive neuro association that's helped me is cold temperatures and ice cold atmospheres. So this neuro association of mine is saying that the cold, any sort of cold in any situation, is going to strengthen me, and it's growing me, and it's giving me a lot of benefits, empowering my body and giving me more strength to come. Okay, this is a neuro association that I have with ice and cold temperatures. So these neuro associations are typically aligned with things that we look at in the world, okay? So another example was like, okay, so I view spending time with my friends and family who care. So I'm spending my time, anytime I spend my time with friends or family, this association, this look of how I'm viewing my life, that example, the association for me is meaning that I have a high quality life and I can be happy with so little. And being present is the thing that I'm used to and I really enjoy. So these associations are, when we're looking at them, we're talking about how they're meaning for us. Okay, so when we're looking at these meanings, we can say that, okay, I believe that, even though the tree, okay, we'll say the tree is green, but actually you could feel like it's red or something like this. You're associating a different meaning to it. Okay, so these meanings in your mind are creating the beliefs that you're moving your life around. Do we need to, it seems like you guys are a little bit confused on this from your faces.
Can we go straight to the core what you want us to do?
So it's writing down these neuro associations.
But are they the current ones we have, or it's
Ones that have shaped your life for the positive.
For the positive.
Yes,
So
because
for
there's also
example,
negative ones.
So if I go dancing salsa and bachata, I know this really brings me joy.
Exactly.
So I associate dancing, Latino dance
Exactly.
with joy and good vibes.
That's a neuro
So only
association.
on dopamine?
How you mean
Two.
how to rise their dopamine?
Yeah. Well, with the way that you look at dancing, gives me good vibes. Like the time that I spend with my family, that gives me good energy. The things that I look at in the ice bath, that gives me power. These are things that I'm looking at in the world, and they're giving meaning to me. And this meaning creates energy, power, or great feelings. Okay? If you're in a room of people, right, that association, and if you're like someone that's super socially anxious, say that situation could be like, oh, no one here, like everyone's looking at me. That could be like the neuro association that's negative, right? But what if you're a person that's really extroverted, right? Anytime you see a social situation and there's a lot of people and the spotlight's on you, you could be loving it, right? These are the associations that we give ourselves. So that's what I want you to look at. If you can take like a few minutes just to like think about your own life, what are 2 neuro associations that has actually helped you in your life, shaped your life for the positive? Again, the dancing one, ice baths, family, social interaction. Strangers could be a neuro association. That could be that idea of, okay, when I see a stranger, that means stranger danger, right? These are neuro associations. So 2 neuro associations. Do we need more examples? Just thinking. We're just thinking. For example, improv. When I first joined improv, a neuro association for me was zone, and it stretched my public communication. Where if someone were to look at improv and they're associating that with it being completely weird and like for, I don't know, nerds or something, right? That would be their association, but my association is completely different. So these neuro associations completely shape the way we want to do things and the way we view things in life. So
if I have more, can I write more?
Please, if you have more and they're on your mind, write as many as you can for all this stuff that we talk about. That gives you a better idea of where your current state is now and who you were in the past and what has shaped your life to be here today. The next part, I'll give you guys just a few more seconds. This one is one of the biggest ones that I think is shaped you in your life. So, do we know what a hierarchy is? Yep. So what you're going to do, and when you think about this, it's super interesting. We all have values in our life that we prioritize. And so because of these values, these values have been shaping our entire decisions, okay? So what we look at when we talk about a hierarchy, if you can, the idea is to have 10 of these, but for time's sake, I just want you to do the top 3, okay? But if you can make 10, that's exactly where you want to be. But top 3, right? So say, for example, I have a decision and I'm with my family at home, okay? Maybe this is in the middle of a morning on a Saturday morning, and my wife and I had scheduled a time to do some date and with the kids, and we went out to the theme park or some sort, right? But all of a sudden work would call me in, right? Your values if you value family and love more, you're going to take the action of doing anything you can to tell your boss, tell the person that asked you to come into work that this is the time I scheduled and I can't come in for that. If you value money and success more, you're going to tell your wife and you're going to do anything you can that says, oh, I need to go in. Does that make sense? So these are the values that you need to look at in your life. What is the top priority in your life? What is the most important parts to you in your life in X? So this could be love, appreciation. I'll give you my list. My first one was love and appreciation, the things that I value the most. So there could be situations where before getting anything. Number 7, passion is number 8, 9 is trust, right? So look at your life and look at what values that you have and what is the biggest priority for these values, and make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10 if you can. That's like, that would take a little bit, it took me a little bit of time to actually like think about this, but that's why I want to just say for now have 3. If you can just think of the top 3, because this is again where you base all of your decisions on. And so what we're going to do, we're going to look at this later and see if these values are serving you and they need to evolve. So this is what we'll dive into in a few minutes. Because these values, they're guiding your decisions and they create your destiny. You see, values guide decisions, and decisions create your reality. They create your destiny. So just 3, if you can just think about your life. Do 2 more minutes for this.
So like I have a question
Yeah.
for this topic, because I feel like my values are really blurred by like self-sabotaging patterns.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. And that's totally valid. That's why we're looking at the old version of you. Even if you were self-sabotaging, that's exactly what you have to understand.
Yeah, because when you like ask me about the values, it's really crazy, but like it comes the value of self-sabotaging, which is like totally opposite, right? But then I realized, oh, this is actually how I have been operating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have the other values, but really if I reflect upon my life, it's
Mm-hmm.
so just
That's
I don't know, it's only my experience.
No, definitely not. Because, you know, there's typically, when it's self-sabotaging, it's because your brain's confused. Whenever self-sabotage goes on, it's because your brain can't make a decision and you're confusing it with different feelings. And so there's different values that are attacking one another, and they're not necessarily making a clear decision. So what happens is you don't make a decision, and then it kind of just like gets even further down the rabbit hole of self-sabotage. I've gone down this many times before, so many times.
I realized that the first value is really like connected to me self-sabotaging, so it makes total sense. So,
the next one I'm really, really excited about. This one is an emotional inventory, okay? We talk about feelings a lot, and technically they should be only positive. But obviously, what I want you to look at right now and what you are experiencing on a habitual basis. So look at your life, look at the daily, weekly, monthly kind of situation. What emotions are you habitually feeling throughout the week, throughout the day, throughout the month, positively and negatively? So 5 and 5.
Same way, most, least?
Yes, if you can. That would be, the more clear, the better, yeah, for sure.
Could you just repeat once again?
Okay, so when you look at your life, there's a lot of emotions that go on. But the ones that are kind of crazy, they're kind of, unique in some ways. If you look at the habitual ones, the ones that happen on a regular basis, this is what you're trying to focus on. You're trying to recognize and see, okay, am I feeling frustration all the time? Am I feeling overwhelmed all the time? Am I feeling upset all the time? I mean, I can feel upset pretty easily on the way when I'm driving my motorbike here. So what emotions are you habitually feeling on a regular basis? Positively and negatively. 5 and 5.
Can I put manic in both?
What is it?
Can I put manic in both?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you can do 5, great. I want to see if you can't do 5, then just do 3.
5 of each.
5 positive, 5 negative. Yeah.
What?
Have emotions that many?
I've only had even one positive.
This is all of this, what we are talking about right now. This is how your life has been shaped by the current behavior and decisions. When you look at it and you really start to think about it, when you go home and start to look at what your beliefs are, what your associations are, you'll have many more than just 2. What your values are and what you are positively and negatively feeling. This has shaped your entire life up to now.
Can you say that?
All of these things right here, this has shaped your entire life up to this point. And basically created who you are within the past 10 years, 15 years. They're always changing as things go on, as new experiences go on, and new people come into our life and new opportunities come into our life. But if you want to start to reprogram your mind, it's important to look at these and say, okay, are these serving me? Are these helpful for me? And it's important to look at the positive and negative, the yin and the yang. But we're never going to get away from the negative. We just want to be in the positive more often. So this is the point of what we're doing, right? Now, the next part is to see what actually is not working right now. Okay? So this is a cool little assessment. I don't know if you've ever done this before. This is called the Wheel of Life. Anyone's ever heard of this before?
I heard it from you.
You've heard of it?
Yeah, I did it.
Did it yesterday?
No, I did it.
Oh,
I think
they did
it's
it,
the same wheel of life. Let's see, maybe some other wheel of life.
Yeah, no, I think when we talk about the Wheel of Life, it's pretty much similar.
The Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, exactly, George. So if you can, just draw a circle on your page. If you're on your phone, just do 1 through 8, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to do a wheel. And if you can, if you want to make it fancy looking, you're just going to basically draw up to like 10. Okay? This is the Wheel of Life. And what you're going to look at here is 8 different categories. Health, finance,
6'5".
yeah, there you go.
Friends, family.
Yeah, friend. So I say family and you can talk about self-esteem. Oh, the other ones. Okay, yeah, fun. What was the other ones? Romance. So actually, what we'll do career instead of finance, because money is different than career. You can have a great career but not really getting that, So, and then I'm gonna leave the last one open to you. So you can pick a new category for yourself, an area. It could be physical environment, it could be expression, it could be your purpose, it could be the way you contribute or give. So look at these 7 areas right now. And then you're going to give it a scale of how satisfied you are on 1 out of 10. So for fun, maybe here. okay, we'll say 7. Maybe self-esteem, maybe here, maybe 8, right? Family relationships, maybe here, 6. Maybe career, maybe 10. You could be a 10, you know, if you wanted to say that. 10, 9, right? Health, where is it? 4, romance, 2, right? Money, 7, whatever it is. Give it a rating. And then the last one you come up with.
This multiplayer, there was workshop the whole day, like a couple months ago. It was really good.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam, what does I can't read. What is the
Career, family, and relations.
Okay.
So I put family and relationships together because it's like friendship relationships.
Health, body, mental health.
Yep, body and mental health. Mm-hmm.
Something wrong here. Couldn't even throw the wheel.
And the last one is whatever I want.
Whatever you want. You come up with it. It could be your environment, right? Are you in a good house?
Maybe people around me.
That could also be your friends' relations as well, right? But I mean, it could be, say, like the actual environment of where you're living. Like, are you satisfied with that? Or it could be,
Like Vietnam.
yeah, like Vietnam. Or it could be the way that you feel like you're expressing yourself. Do you feel like you're really being honest and expressive,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like think about areas where you can kind of make this whole. So what you eventually want to get to, and what's super interesting that I think is a really amazing secret. So your wheel will be something like this if you look at it. Right? It'll be something like this, whatever it is.
Okay.
And what is super cool is there's other people in this world who are the opposite. And if you can find those people, you're a great fit to each other. You can hang out with them. They would be your best friends. We kind of fit like puzzle pieces sometimes. And it's really cool.
Yeah, but is it a good thing though?
Yes, this is how the world thrives. By filling each
If
other's...
somebody has low self-esteem and I have very high self-esteem.
Well, what happens is this comes up. It starts to get increased.
For the person.
For this person, because yours, say money was not good, but as soon as you meet someone, they can help you with your money a lot. They can give you new ideas, new opportunities. They can even give you a job or whatever it is.
Yeah, but we are talking about mentally healthy people, right?
It doesn't have to be necessarily. If you're with meet someone that's not necessarily mentally healthy or physically healthy, you're still going to
No, not
influence.
physically. I'm not talking about physically, but in order for the other person to not pull you down, that person has to be mature enough to understand that you can help each other to grow instead of going.
They have to, yeah, there has to be
They have to be mentally like mature enough for that. Otherwise, the person can be like have a lot of money, but secretly has very low self-esteem. And what happens is that person pulls another person to his level in order to match.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So we're talking about mentally mature and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that you can't ever help these people. If you're strong enough within yourself, you know yourself, you don't get influenced by other people.
That's true. That's true. But the thing is, why would that bother?
True. It's you, right? But just different perspectives.
Yeah.
So, next one.
No!
So you just put whatever you would like to.
Listening to the discussion.
So it's a rating from 1 to 10.
1 out of 10.
I can just put the numbers.
I thought that the lesson is
Mm-hmm.
2x today.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
So, for those of you who are not done, I'm going to give the new little one to the other people who are done. Now I want you to look at the positive neuro associations, the ones that have shaped your life for the good. Right? So look at your life again. Look at the. Oh, sorry. We already looked at the good. We're going to look at the bad now. So 2 neuroassociations that you were created in your past that is limiting your life today. So one of mine was the fact of being in a relationship. This belief, the association that I had was the woman will take all my money and my time and a distraction for all the things that I really want to achieve in the world. This was my association in the past for getting into relationships, and it was not fulfilling to me, right? And that's an association, right? Another one could be the fact of that money that I have and others have. So the belief, the association was someone had to deceive and manipulate so many people for this person to have the right money and to get that money. So these are negative neuroassociations that have brought me to where I am.
So something that I used to do but not doing anymore.
No, you can still be doing now. You want to see how they've shaped your life today negatively. And the way that you can also look at this.
What if I am not maybe aware of those? Because
That's what I'm saying. So look at this.
okay.
Where is your circle? Lower. And this is where your areas of where your associations could be actually not correct.
Negative.
But what if I chose it to be this way in a matter of perspective?
That itself, the choice could be a limiting or neuroassociation. If you want it to be that,
No,
like,
I mean, like, I know I can make it better, but right now my perspectives are, for example, like, can I just,
sure.
career money, it's the lowest right now for me. But I know that I can do that. Right now I'm focused on, my perspectives are about my mind, and like I'm getting used to making my body healthy as well. So my perspectives are there. I know that if I want, I can invest more time to making money, but I don't want, I'm not choosing that like on purpose.
I get that. But I also believe that you're like Shauna at level 2000 could totally be able to do that.
Yeah, but I'm not there yet.
But that's
Mentally, I need to be there, and I'm working on that right now in order to not go like 5-7, yeah, or how is it like, well, 8-5 or whatever, like 5 days, 8 hours. In order not to work that, I know that I mentally should be in a completely different level. And instead of like working more to make more money, I'm focused on making different mindset in order to make more money without working like 9 hours, 8 hours per day, 5 days a week. So in this case.
Sorry, if we have more than 2 like these negative beliefs, we can also write more.
Definitely write more.
If beliefs
Neuroassociations. Oh, This one is negative. Negative associations, the meanings that you give towards things. So what the examples that I get was like the relationship, would I have a relationship with money, these types of things.
So I don't know, like for example, everything that had negative impact in my life, I try to find and change. Right now, I'm definitely not aware, but it still has bad impact. But if I'm not aware of them, I can write it down.
Yeah, it's better you write and you focus even on
The thing that I wanted to point out to you with what you said there is that itself is an association that's limiting you. Because your association with the meaning of being the best version of yourself, the association to that is you have to do all this stuff that is never ending, it seems like, to actually get to that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So there's a bunch of stuff, a bunch of steps to have to get to this point, but the secret is actually just being that person.
I know.
Right.
This is like
That's what I'm saying, but within
and focusing on reprogramming and feeling most of all, like feeling like you are already that person. But it takes time. I can't just wake up and I feel that person.
Yes, you can.
Your body get used to it. It takes 32 years of like Tajikistan programming. No, it's not that easy for me just to wake up and feel. I can mindly think.
Well, these
but
things,
this-
these are meanings that you're giving yourself that are also limiting. The things that you're telling me right now, these beliefs, even about Tajikistan, these are neuroassociations.
Okay.
Oh.
These are meanings that you're giving to this place that is limiting you.
Yeah, but that is what happened, experience that I found out.
But past does not equal the present.
No, that's what I'm saying. That,
Yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. That
No, that doesn't make
in my mind, I can like I don't know, I'm like a queen or something. But it's not mind that is more important. It's feeling. You need to feel that in you, like feel, wake up and feel that you're a queen, right? So,
Let's talk about this later.
Okay, so what should I put?
Just skip it for now because you weren't understanding with what I was talking about. So that's okay. So next one here.
Mr. Sam.
What is it?
He hasn't finished yet.
Rogers.
Mr. Sir.
If you are like, so there's like current negative association. Some of it is low here, but like, so if you're able to see the negative association, then why are you making the negative association? You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I love that you asked that question. I would love to answer that right now, but we need to get going on that other stuff. There's a lot of stuff. It's mainly just because of the beliefs that you have about it. Because there's more pain, and we'll look at this later. Because there's more pain to doing it, to like not doing it or doing it, depending on what like the actual action is. But anyways, so this one is also going to be a little bit of an interesting look at. So what I want you to see is actually the present way that you're getting disrupted. So what that means is where are the triggers that are going on in your life? So where are you getting triggered? Where are the cues? So it's like these are influences that are disrupting your state. This could be a cue of the weather. This could be a trigger. Something that someone says. There's a lot of types of these, okay? So I'm going to give you all these types.
Sam, so trigger like stopping you from reaching something?
That are keeping you in a certain state. So the way that you would, like think about the last week, the last month, past 5 years. It's like, it could be just a body posture or movement, a breathing pattern, being fatigued or hunger. A lot of them come from the 5 senses, things that you see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. There could be a previous emotional state that you were in. It's like a chain reaction. There could be an interaction with the person, what they said or what they did. There could be the time of day or a specific date, someone's birthday, someone's anniversary, someone's whatever. It could be actually a social situation where you are needing to talk in front of people, whatever it is. It could be a location. It could also be a memory of nostalgia, something that just shows up in your memory all of a sudden from years ago that you may think about all the time. It could also be self-talk, thoughts, and beliefs. So what your goal is to write down 3, or if you can, as many as you can, triggers from the past week, month, year that has disrupted you from being in the best state, the most empowered self. What cues are telling you that something's wrong? The current triggers: stress at work, relationship conflicts, self-doubt. A thought comes in, something happens. Maybe it's in your control or out of your control. Just describe the trigger, how it happened, maybe a sentence, or maybe if it's actually just a time of the day. It's like, I know at 3:55 every single day, I hit a crash. Just, you mean it's gonna like take a lot of reflection to realize that, but like if you look back into your life, it's like, okay, where all of a sudden have I got crashed and all of a sudden I'm so tired and I wanna go to bed, you know, that type of thing. I've had that before.
Can I ask you about so for me, like whatever you said, everything, it all goes to me. Like who is stopping or what is stopping, it's me. the thing is that the state of my body is wanting to go back to comfort zone, and the state of my mind, like the programming of my mind, wants to go back, and that's why these whole things create. Like, I do not control the weather, and if it rains, and I'm like, oh, it's raining, and I'm like, okay, I will stay home, for example, yeah. This is like all programming comfort zone, wants to not do anything.
Yeah.
Not go. Like.
So what are you asking?
My question is, like, can I just like say me?
But yeah, there's a lot of you that goes on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course, but there's situations that you think about. Rain is coming down.
No,
That's
I love rain, but
right.
yeah,
It's a cue.
okay.
It's a trigger for you to
Okay.
feel something
So-
in you.
So what within and outside?
Within and
triggers
with
me
outside.
To go back to old
Yes.
program.
Yep. To going back to the old program.
Could it be not mental?
Yeah, it could be mental.
Could it be not mental?
Oh yeah. Could be
Outside.
someone said something. Someone said something. A girl
But
ghosted you.
that's mental, right? Somebody said something, you processed it, and you like. I'm saying
For
like
example,
like
if I find
physical or
it.
whatever. Yeah.
Technically, all of it's mental because when something happens in the world,
Fair enough.
you're thinking about it and you're giving a meaning to it. It's triggering you in some sort of way.
Yeah.
It's technically all mental. Does that make sense? How you doing?
Oh, it's great. It's just like makes me think, you know. It's, I don't know, it's so new. Like I never did something else.
Mm-hmm. It's
so
deep.
new. You always kind of like
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, like you don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, right.
For me, it makes me feel like makes me think how I feel. It's hard. It's
It is
actually
hard.
tough.
It is hard.
Assuming like gender.
Okay, you got those? If you don't have them, that's okay. I just want you to get this kind of framework, right? There's a lot of stuff that you can look at later. So we got two things left in this. In this, like, this idea of where you are now. So I want you to look at your life and think about, again, right? Like more thinking. What two actions have you told yourself you wanted to do but you haven't done yet?
Like at all, I haven't even started.
Yeah, you could have not started it because of some beliefs. What actions?
Not start.
Yeah, you could have started it or like not finished it as well. These are actions.
Not in the process, right? Just either started and just dropped it. And
Yes, or didn't start.
continue,
Yes.
Or didn't.
Yep.
How many?
Two. So 2 actions that you need to take, ones that you've been putting off. And so I want you to also write something underneath once you have these. I'll put this on the board so you can look at this later. And you can write down all the beliefs, all the associations that you have for these. So when you have these 2 actions, look at what is the pain associated by actually doing this. So if I do this action, what is the pain that I believe will give me? The uncomfort, whatever that is. And then the second part is what is the pleasure that I've been given to myself by not taking this action? Yes, the pleasure. This could be you have more time to do everything else that you want.
Could you repeat this?
So what is the pleasure that you're getting by not taking this action? What are the benefits? What are the benefits that you're getting by not taking this action? So this is something that you can jot down now. If you haven't finished your 2 actions, then keep thinking about those. Otherwise, just start working on this for a second. If you want to come back to it, we're going to go into something, a new one. Okay, if you have those, great. If not, it's okay. Just make sure that you have these questions down so you can look at this later. Now, I'm going to let you just do that for, actually, no, let's keep going. I want to get, there's a few more things you'll kind of want to go. So, yeah, so what this is, we're looking at what needs to happen in order for you to feel successful, what must happen in order for you to feel like a failure. So what are things that are actually going on? Do you have to have a lot of money to feel successful? What must happen for you to feel like a success? And what must happen in order, or what happens for you to feel like a failure? Does that mean someone dumped you? Does that mean someone told you you suck, or you have purple hair and it's dumb, right? What are the things that happens that make you feel like a failure or a success?
You should have both, good and bad.
Mm-hmm. So what must happen in order for you to feel like a success? And what happens in order for me to feel like a failure? Or makes me feel like a failure? Yeah, it's very difficult as well. That's why I said we're going very deep today.
No, this is kind of like confusing.
What's confusing? This question?
Sam, like, not to sound like a nerd, but the answer is me still.
Yeah, but of course it's all you.
Yeah,
but we have think about more broad,
because
like your
the
broad.
thing is,
Think more specific.
The same thing in my different state can be different triggers. For example, one day if my father told me like,
Yeah.
you didn't have enough, like you don't have enough money. If I feel like I did my meditation, did all that, I feel good. I'm like, nah, I'm on like different path right now, and it will not trigger me at all. But another day, if I'm like on my periods or something, it will be like I will be sitting and crying. So that's why it's confusing. Like, should I write like any triggers that might trigger me, or?
Yeah, we're not on triggers anymore. We're just giving meaning to success and failure.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. That the meaning is like how I decide to feel towards something.
Yep. To success and failure.
Yeah. So I can easily some situation, like I don't know, I broke my nail. For example, girly thing,
sure,
right?
Sure.
I'm like, oh my god, I broke my nail. Like I'm such a loser.
The image. So this is like the image of yourself is defeated.
Yes.
Right. So it's like my actual image. If I look like crap, that could mean that is a failure.
Yeah. So for example, yeah. But the thing is that I could be like, oh, and if you start going to that, and I'm like.
So what's your question?
My question is like, how can I find out what triggers me? Not trigger. What is the definition of success and failure?
That's for you to decide.
But now when I know that I can change it, I don't know what that is.
Well, that's a lot of introspection that I can't help you out. That's something that you have to look at within yourself. These are questions that you have to ask yourself. I can't give you the answer to that. And this is the next part of this question. Okay? It's because we're going into round 3, because now we're getting crystal clear on what you want. Okay? We're doing these 2 questions again, but what are your new rules for success and failure? Okay, so what should your rules be to feel like a success and make it absolutely easy? Maybe your belief to be a success is every day is a great day above ground. Remember that, right? That
Heard that before.
Pitbull.
Every day what?
Every day above ground is a great day.
Can you sing it?
Sing it.
Every day above ground, a great day. Remember that.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Neo.
Yeah. I don't know what song it is. But so that could be a belief for success. Just because you're alive and you wake up in the morning, you can make it that easy for you to feel success. A failure, how can you make it impossible to fail? What belief do you have to make it impossible to fail?
Design.
So maybe because my belief used to be if I quit, right? If I stop doing something, if I give up. But if I give up, if I quit, that means I'm dead in my eyes. And if I'm dead, I can't learn. So the way that I can never fail is by not learning. Is by not learning. Or dead, yeah, sure. But then at the end of my life, oh, I'm a failure.
So now we do the same thing, but for
the good version of what success and failure means to you. So we looked at what was not serving you for what means success to you and what means failure to you, right? This was how have you been successful, or the past version of you been thinking about how I can feel like a success and what happens to me that makes me feel like a failure. But now what we're looking at is what should my new rules be? So I want to have my life look at a different way of how I can feel successful. What you see.
Can it be super materialistic?
Sure, whatever. I mean, if that might be harder for you though.
But can we, for example, the way I see success, the same one in the...
If it's already empowering you, then perfect.
Okay. So that was supposed to be disempowering.
The first one was, yeah. I tried to phrase the question in that such of way by saying what has to happen. Like what must happen. But this way is like asking you, what do you want to have happen? How do you want to feel like a success? Because you could have all of a sudden what must happen is, I want a bunch of money. And that was the thing that you can make you feel successful. But instead of it being that, you could just say, I feel like a success when I wake up.
Okay, got it.
Now that is failure is difficult.
It is difficult, but the way that I can look at it is just saying, if I fail, I quit by failing. That's what it means. For me to be a failure, I actually quit, and I don't learn anything. And if I'm curious, then it's impossible to fail.
Giving up, can it be that? Failure?
Yeah, but make it impossible to fail. Frame this belief so it's impossible to fail. Don't make it so easy for you to fail. Because giving up, you could give up a lot of times.
No, I can't.
But it could happen.
I mean, okay, yeah, I got it. No.
You don't understand?
Yeah, I think I'm confused too.
Failure that is empowering.
Mm-hmm.
Could you give some examples?
Yeah, I'm talking about like my belief for failure. The only way I can fail is by quitting and not learning something.
But then what would be a disempowering belief in failure?
By just completely giving up. And thinking that there's nothing.
Quitting and giving up.
It could be.
It doesn't have to be quitting. It has to be also change something else.
Yeah.
Like let's say I start a business and I realize it doesn't work. Just
Yeah. Yeah, that could be it too. The reason that I'm looking at these different. Yeah, that could be a failure. If you go back to your old self, that could be that's a bad failure. Also, I mean, if you want it to be an empowering failure, it's like you want it to change it to not ever have that happen. So it's like, even if there are situations where your old self comes up and this is the belief of the failure, and you have this new belief, and you all of a sudden have that old self come back, that can make you, even just a glimpse or a taste of that old self, that can make you feel like a failure. Because you see it, right? And you're seeing like, oh, the old self is coming back. This is only if you believe it. If you don't have that, if you know it's never gonna happen, then perfect, it will serve you. But the thing is, we're trying to look at what is a belief that we can look at about failure that will serve you to not ever feeling like a failure, and look at failure in the light that is moving you towards not ever quitting, basically, and feeling that end up of like defeat.
For example, like going back to my old self is a failure, but if I put it like when I have this glimpse, I'm like, oh, okay, it was like that.
Yes.
Now I'm doing this with me. Yay,
Yes,
keep
that's a
going.
new belief.
Okay.
Yes.
But for example, like if it's disempowering,
I'm a seal.
for instance, it's critique from someone.
It's critique.
Yeah, so empowering could be like accepting that people can have different opinions.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a really good way to look at critiques.
Okay.
Seeing that everyone has their own opinion, but I value my opinion the most. So now next side, just if you can, I know there's a lot that we're diving into. I'm sorry, but also I love you at the same time. So
We did it to ourselves.
Feeling like a failure.
okay, so remember those beliefs that we did at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to reframe them.
Mhm.
So go back to
Part 2.
yeah,
Woo!
part 3 now.
Oh.
Wait, what week is that?
This is the crafting your life and designing it what you want, like getting crystal clear on what you want. So go back to those old beliefs that you had. Remember those.
Number 1.
The 2 beliefs that you had, the first question that we did. And now you're going to reframe them, okay? So say my first beliefs were, I am not smart enough. You're going to look at this in a different belief, okay? So I'm not smart enough? Well, I have a PhD in results. I'm not old enough? I'm too young? Well, youth is powerful and energizing.
Cool.
Get it?
Yep.
Go.
You got it. I believe you.
Same with 2 first beliefs that I used to have.
Yes.
So how
Change the belief and reframe it. Create it to have more impact. Or, well, technically, like, this new belief is going to have a bigger impact on you.
And what is the now? What we should do now?
You got those beliefs? You reframed them?
How? Like how reframe? What do you mean?
Reframing it in a better way that is empowering you. So if I say that I'm too young, I believe that even if I'm young, I still know that youth is powerful and energizing.
Oh, what if I don't have them anymore?
What does that mean?
Like my old beliefs, or I need to do something.
The old beliefs that have been creating your core beliefs in your life. So okay. Yeah.
Oh, your first example of something like PhD.
Oh, so it says like I'm not smart enough was my first belief, and then the second belief was, or the reframe was, I have a PhD in results. So even if I don't know enough, I still take action and I create results.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Next. So, I don't want you to do this now. I want you to do this later. So go back to the life wheel.
Spin it.
Yep, spin it. So just to write this down somewhere next to the life wheel, but I want you to create an objective for each of these to make it maybe one level up, or to basically get it to level 10. So, and what I mean by an objective is effort aimed in a direction, not a goal. A goal is the ends of which effort is aimed. Okay, so we put our efforts towards something, a goal, and there's a time limit to it. And it's done. All of our effort is gone just for this goal. An objective is putting us in this direction for as long as we can have, and long as we can think. So it's just keeping us in line. So what I want you to do is for these areas, so for family and relations, maybe it could be, I wrote one down these. I want to be, like, the goal could be, okay, I want to become fluent in Spanish, but the reason I want to become fluent in Spanish because to explore Spanish and the culture, to build a deeper relationship with so-and-so, maybe it's a girlfriend, maybe it's a best friend's family, okay? So it's not like an end goal, but it's objective. I want to become fluent, I want to know the culture, and I want to get to have a conversation with people's family, okay? Your health one, instead of losing 20 pounds, or sorry, kilos, whatever it is, I just want a healthier lifestyle that supports my well-being. That's the objective, okay? Does that make sense? We want objectives.
So for each, or
Yes.
just the lowest one?
Each. If you can, each, put more effort towards the lowest ones. Okay? So now, that's getting crystal clear on what you want. This next part. So I did a lot of deep diving yesterday, and I found this so cool. This is like 3A, okay? This is to make sure that you stay in state. To stay in the peak state of performance, peak state of empowerment. You need to create a list, if possible, of 100, but not now. If you can, but I want you to find ways that you can just bring yourself from pain to pleasure immediately. Last week, we talked about anchors. So that itself is a tool that you can use to go from pain to pleasure immediately, if you use it properly. And I have like a big list. One of them was cold therapy. One of them is doing nothing. One of them is gratitude. One of them is a labeling meditation. Shadow work stuff, pattern interruptions, self-image shifting. These are like visual stuff you can do. Visualization. Anchors are a big one, but this could be anything. I want you to create a list of 15, if you can. Just boom, 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 as many things. So things that bring you from a pain state. Okay, so you're, all of a sudden you're trying to reprogram yourself, right? You go back to your old self. You feel that creeping in, and it's like coming up. You get that negative feeling. What do you do to change your state to being in positive?
Breathe.
Great. That breathing exercise is a perfect way. Write it down. Write it down. Hey, I don't want you to think out loud. Put it in there. This could be giving a big hug to someone. I know you two love giving hugs.
Oh yeah. Every day.
This could be dancing in the rain. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Right? Find ways to bring you from pain to pleasure immediately. Any sort of exercise, some sort of stretching, cold exposure. What kind of meditations do you know? What kind of breathing techniques do you know? What kind of visualization techniques do you know? How does reading impact you? How does talking to a friend impact you? I'm going to put this big list. I'm actually going to create a mini course for this entire program, because this is when I started diving into this and started like figuring this out, I was like, wow, this is like so powerful for this, because this is literally I was like, all of a sudden, just a big step in my head. I was like, oh, this is the exact steps. It's just 5 simple steps to reprogram yourself. 6 technically once you condition it and like make it consistent. So that's just the tools to make sure you stay in state. The goal, if you can, for your life is to create hundreds of these and be able to tap into it and know exactly when it is that you want. Look at anchors, NLP, write down this, NLP anchors. If you really understand what these are, you will be able to transform your life in such a powerful way. Okay? Next part. Why do you want it? Round 4.
What is it?
So, first thing I want you to do is just look at the areas of your life. It could be the ones that we looked at with these categories, but I want you to find 5 categories, 5 areas of your life that you're dissatisfied with. Finances, dissatisfied with. Yep. Could be physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, financially, relationship-wise. Just kind of list them out. Just kind of freeball. Just write them down. Make some sentences stating what areas and what specifically like you're not interested or like, sorry, not interested, but what you're not satisfied with.
Can I go with you?
Yes, not happy with. Huh? Think of as many as possible. And many categories or many areas. Don't think, just write.
Yeah, but right what?
There's a lot. It's areas.
I mean, like dissatisfied, like
Yeah.
dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Too.
Why 2?
Health and financial, that's all.
Okay. Then write down what in your health, what in your financials. Where are you dissatisfied?
So what and why?
Yeah.
What and why dissatisfied?
Yeah, but like what are the areas and what are you specifically not satisfied with?
Okay.
What is it? What is the area? And so this is really, really important to understand. Dissatisfaction is not a problem. It's not a bad thing. It's a guide to show you where you want to improve your life. It just shows you where you're out of alignment and gives you the energy to change. But you must create the pressure to change. And this is something we're about to talk about, is how do you create pressure? Because you need to create pressure by getting inspired. So, next part, creating leverage. This is actually where you start to make big impact. If you write down this very strong, the questions that you're going to ask yourself is, what will it cost you? What are the feelings associated if you don't change now? What are the bad things that are going to happen by you not changing, maybe within the next week, next month? What is going to happen badly in the future? What is going to cost you? Especially if, like, not just the cost of inaction, but the ripple effects of this inaction that's going to have on the people that you care about as well. So, what's the cost? What's the cost of it now? And you're also going to look at what is gained by taking the action now. What are all the benefits? All the benefits that are going to happen. What? You tired?
Yeah.
That's okay. This is like kind of why I wanted to maybe do it in 2 parts.
Yeah, it was better to do it in 2 parts. Otherwise, we'll just watch recording.
I have to try my best. I do implement. You know, when you say you do it in 2 parts, sorry, just selfish reasons. I mean,
It's okay.
I can zoom in right for the second part. So I'm not here. I'm in the embodied. So if I can roughly time same time
Yeah,
zone,
you
right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I can zoom in, just let, what if you record it?
Yeah, it's recorded.
I just recorded it, oh, cool. You can do that, Sam, if you want, sort of, just to make everyone else